In the quaint yet seemingly forgotten town of Mayville, there lies an institution, a so-called beacon of higher learning known as Mayville State University. It is here, amidst the promises of growth and enlightenment, that my tale of disillusionment unfolds, a narrative steeped in the bitterness of unmet expectations and the sorrowful realization that not all that glimmers is indeed gold. As I traversed the grounds of Mayville State University, my heart was heavy with the weight of misplaced hope. The campus, which should have sprawled with the vibrancy of youthful ambition, felt more akin to an overgrown high school playground, its facilities trapped in a bygone era, yearning for the tender touch of modernity. The buildings, with their chipped paint and creaking doors, whisper secrets of neglect, and the air, though seemingly fresh, carries with it the scent of lost potential. But let us delve deeper into the labyrinth of disappointment that is the dining experience at this institution. Picture, if you will, a cafeteria where the food, much like the spirits of the students, is consistently underwhelming. Each morsel, a hapless victim of culinary indifference, arrives before you, a symphony of flavorless notes. The taster lack their offlingers on the palate like a dull ache, reminiscent of cardboard dampened by the tears of homesick freshmen. The temperature, often a gamble, ranges from tepid to arctic, as if the chefs themselves are playing a cruel game of chance with your appetite. The servers, their faces etched with the weariness of 1,000 uninspired shifts, move with the speed of melting glaciers, their disinterest palpable. Each interaction, or lack thereof, serves as a stark reminder that hospitality is not a course offered within these walls. The silence that hangs between patron and server is a chasm, filled only with the clinking of cutlery and the occasional sigh of resignation. Cleanliness, or the conspicuous absence thereof, is yet another character in this tragi comedy. Stains of mysterious origins decorate the floors and furniture, narrating tales of parties past and hygiene standards long forgotten. The odor of stale air and despair clings to the curtains, a testament to the janitorial staff's valiant, yet futile, efforts against the tide of neglect. Behind these vexing scenes, the specter of poor management looms large, casting a shadow over the student body. Understaffing and underfunding become the silent villains of our story, their presence felt in every overcrowded classroom and every burst of unchecked noise that shatters the sanctity of study. The administration, ensconced in their ivory towers, seem but distant stars, their light reaching us only as a faint echo of promises unkept. The curriculum, another casualty of this academic melodrama, plods along at a snail's pace, years behind the rapid march of progress. Large class sizes ensure that each student is but a nameless face in a sea of peers, their individual struggles and triumphs lost in the cacophony of collective indifference. Professors, some of whom appear to have taken a wrong turn on their way to retirement, dispense knowledge with the enthusiasm of a cat being bathed. Housing, the final frontier of this dreary saga, offers little in the way of respite. The dormitories, with their cramped quarters and persistent din, become the unwitting incubators of discontent. Here, privacy is a luxury afforded to but a fortunate few, and the concept of personal space is as elusive as the promise of a good night's sleep. And yet, amidst these tribulations, there lies a peculiar irony, for it is in the repetition of these mundane failures that a sense of camaraderie is forged amongst the students.
I've been looking into some rather unsettling incidents around Mayville State University, Mayville. It's like every time you turn around, there's another story about someone getting scammed, you know. It's just so disheartening to see how people can be so deceptive. So, there was this one incident where a family near Mayville State University was approached at their home for a charity donation. The scammer used a mobile card reader and withdrew way more than they were supposed to. I mean, can you imagine? You're trying to do a good deed, and then you find out you've been robbed. I bet the family felt so violated, and I wouldn't be surprised if they started questioning every charitable act after that. The scammer probably disappeared into thin air, leaving them to deal with the bank and the frustration. It's just so wrong, you know. How could someone exploit kindness like that? Then there's this whole thing with overpriced ticket sales at local stores. Tourists coming in for a short stay, excited to catch a live event, end up paying through the nose for tickets that are supposed to be much cheaper. And if the event gets canceled, good luck getting a refund. I can only imagine the disappointment and anger. They probably felt cheated and missed out on something they were looking forward to for weeks. I wouldn't be shocked if some of these stores kept popping up under different names, continuing the scam until they were caught. And what else with the free products scam at electronics and beauty stores? It's like 1 minute you're getting a complimentary gift, and the next you're dealing with malware or identity theft. I can help but feel sorry for the tourists who fall for this. They come to Mayville State University, hoping to enjoy their stay, and they end up with a digital mess that could take months to clean up. The scammers, they ray probably somewhere laughing, not caring about the chaos they've caused. Oh, and let us not forget the gift card payment scams. Imagine being told you owe some fee or fine, and the only way to pay is through gift cards. It's just ridiculous, right? But people fall for it, especially when they ray in a rush or unfamiliar with the area. I reckon the victims felt so embarrassed afterward for not realizing it was a scam. They probably keep replaying the moment in their heads, wishing they could turn back time. Lastly, the fake traffic violation payment scam is just plain cruel. You get a text saying you've violated some traffic rule, and you're told to pay up at a local store with gift cards. It has such a convincing scam that even the most cautious person might fall for it, especially when it looks so official. The victims likely felt a mix of confusion and panic, not knowing who to trust, and the scammers. They were probably already planning their next move, looking for the next person to fool. It's just so sad to see all this happening around Mayville State University. It makes you wonder, how can we trust anyone anymore? It's like we were all just walking targets for these scammers, and I feel for the tourists who come here for a good time, only to be met with deceit. It's just not right. We need to look out for each other and spread the word about these scams. Maybe then we can start to turn the tide.
Here's the businesses near Mayville State University. Mayville, a mixture of frustration and disappointment. If I had to summarize the vibe, I'd say it's like sipping a lukewarm coffee on a chilly morning, uninviting and underwhelming. Let's start with the elephant in the room, communication. It seems like a basic concept, but apparently it's a skill that's sorely lacking in many of these establishments. The Haven Day Spa and Wellness Clinic, for instance, had a reviewer complaining about the loud alarm that blasts every time the front door opens. Not exactly the most relaxing atmosphere, is it? And when you try to bring it up with the staff, they seem more interested in chatting with each other than addressing your concerns. And then there's the Bee's Nest Tattoo and Art Studio. Want to get a tattoo? Good luck getting a response from them. It's like they're playing a game of hide and seek, and you're left wondering if they're even interested in doing business with you. Now let's talk about prices. Final Bar Lounge, for example, seems to think that charging an arm and a leg for a few beers is a perfectly reasonable thing to do. Newsflash, it's not, and don't even get me started on the watered-down shots. Is this a bar or a science experiment gone wrong? But what really gets my goat is the lack of accountability. When customers complain, these businesses seem to shrug it off, or worse, become defensive. It's like they're saying, hey, you're just being too sensitive. No, I don't think so. As a customer, I expect to be treated with respect and my money to be valued. And then there are the little things that add up to a big disappointment. 3&Me Mobile Coffee Shop, for instance, took 15 minutes to serve a cup of coffee. That's not a coffee shop, that's a waiting game. So what can you do? Well, if you're planning to visit Mayville State University, Mayville, be prepared for a few bumps along the way. Do your research, read reviews.